All right, back by popular demand, my good friend Kevin O'Malley.
It's
I'm
my
serious.
demand.
It was.
These demands.
So for the record, the first video I ever did was with Kevin, and it went so well that we actually really did get like one.
My mom.
No, several people asked us to do
Exponential
do another one. And one other thing, real quick, Kevin and I have been laughing. If you're doing these videos on LinkedIn, we love them.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep.
Please don't do it while driving.
Yeah.
Or walking.
Distracting.
Why?
Yeah, it's unsafe. We're here in a nice, comfortable office. Beautiful backdrop.
Backdrop, you know. Usually we write stuff, but Kevin and I already wrote the only funny
That's
thing
right.
that we had in the fact that we have twins. But seriously, like,
We do have.
I'm ready for someone to be walking, doing these videos, and just smack into a pole.
Well, you know what's going to happen. I guarantee you on this video, someone's going to walk behind us.
But that's our action shot.
That's right.
That's our
That's
action
right.
shot.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kevin actually came while he was in transition. He had his Jerry Maguire moment. He brought his goldfish and everything.
I was ready. I was fired up.
But he, after the video was so inspired that he wrote a piece on transition and what to do during a transition, and it was pretty badass, honestly. So I wanted to bring you in, and just kind of let you talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you write about a topic that is sort of meaningful to you, I blacked out. I just wrote what I was feeling. And it's much easier to write when you talk about something that's meaningful. And
you had your Frank the Tank moment?
I did. I had Frank the Tank moment. But I felt like I just wanted to share what my experience was as I went through a 3-month transition into a new opportunity. And so I just wanted to pass it along.
Cool.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you wrote several points in there, which I thought were all really good. So, you know, share a couple with, of those with us, and I'm sure I'll ask you some. Some funny questions.
I think the one of the big things about transitioning is, and when I say transition, it means from job to job.
Yes.
And a lot of times people call that transition. Some other people call it unemployment. Some people call it on a journey path. But so when I talk about transition, that's what I'm referring to, is that time in between.
When someone says professional and desired as you, though, in your space, it is truly a transition.
Yes, it is.
Other people, it is unemployment.
Yes. That's right. This was but it's also a great opportunity. It is emotional and uncertain of a time that can be. It's also an opportunity on the positive side is to reflect on who you are, what you want, your purpose for what you're doing, and trying to find your true north as to what you should be doing next.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
So what I wrote about was some of the things that resonated with me during that time. I would say one that I liked. We used to do this at Sales Loft, which is MEPS,
which stands for
MEPS is here we go. We're doing MEPS check-in. Mental.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling, right? Are you being aware of where you're at?
Okay.
Are you faking that you're positive, or are you truly scared, or what's the true emotion that you're facing? Well, actually, that's emotion. It's emotional. So this is, again, verbalizing the feeling that is going on within your body.
Yep.
The physical, which would be the P.
Okay.
You got to check yourself, right?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I actually turned to yoga. Did a lot of yoga.
Yeah.
Lost that.
Because you're older.
Older. Well, those snacks at these damn startups.
I know, man.
So I got rid of the Sales Law 15.
Yeah, nice.
And then S is spiritual. And spiritual is really not necessarily religion. It can be for others.
Yep.
But it's really just, sort of reflecting internally and really thinking about what you want as the next thing going forward. So MEPS is really important.
Yeah. What else do you do?
Let's see. I reached out to a lot of people.
You did, which is fun.
Yeah, I did. It was fun to reconnect. It does give you a good sense of confidence. There's a lot of great people out there wanting to help.
Yeah.
Advisors, mentors, family members. If it wasn't for my brothers and my mom, but also to to my mentors, people that have gone through it, people that you can trust, and they're going to give you the raw feedback and give you some great advice to think about. It's been very helpful.
Not to get too personal, but what's an example of some raw feedback that you got?
I think the best feedback, or some of the feedback really that I found myself thinking about a lot, was from a great author.
Okay.
And I don't want to mention her by name because I'm going to protect her innocence. But she really said, really to think about the 3 overlaps of your purpose.
Okay.
Right. Lisa McLeod is the author.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
But the 3 overlaps: the company you're with,
Okay.
the job you're in,
Okay.
and the role, what is your purpose? Your role within that job. If those things aren't overlapping to your purpose, what you really want out of life, the things that really energize you when you wake up in the morning, is that the place you want to go? Is that the position? Is that the role that you want to be in? Is that what you are trying to put your whole self into? And when those things are not aligned, that's probably a good sign for some reflection and maybe a new position.
That's awesome.
So that helped me think about
you were
that.
right.
It's like where do I need to make sure that alignment? So as I'm looking at new opportunities, where is all of those 3 things falling?
So for anyone that is transitioning right now, or unemployed, whatever we want to call it, whatever we want to call it, what's the one best thing they could be doing right now? Obviously, you laid out several, but what's the one best thing you think they could be doing right now?
I think the best thing they could be doing right now, well, it certainly depends where they are in the journey. If they're early on, discharge any feelings, anything from the past, so you can move forward in confidence. If you're nearing the selection process, just continue to talk to people that have been in that role or been with that company. Review Glassdoor, do background checks, ensure that you get, is the culture going to be a good fit? That's huge, right?
Huge,
is the work environment going to be good? I know you're a big believer in that. So, all those things need to be considered. So, make sure don't rush into something. Right? Make sure you do your homework that this is going to be the next best place for you to join.
I like it. All right, real quick. I'm going to let you do the elevator pitch. New company, TOPO.
Well, a small presentation I'd like to
see
share.
Right here. There we go.
Here,
Did you notice how Kevin
sat up
in his
sloucher? Well, now that you've asked about TOPO, I'm really excited about TOPO. TOPO is a research and advisory firm based out of San Francisco, but services customers all around the country, and really in marketing and sales. So anywhere from account-based marketing to sales development to sales leadership and strategy and process. They have advisory services and research that they do to support those practices. So
nice.
I get the opportunity to lead the marketing. So
awesome.
Yeah, very excited. Open an office here at Atlanta Tech Village and starting to set up shop here, but excited to be with the company.
Nice. I like it. Well, thank you for coming back in. We'll see if this one did as good as last time. By the way, last time,
I don't know if my mom will watch this one,
10,000 views last time.
Get out of time.
Yeah, seriously.
Holy smokes.
I know.
9,000 of them.
Just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.